Here, in the stillness of evening, time seems to soften. You feel it not as a clock on the wall or the numbers on a screen, but as something quieter, gentler. Time flows around you like a river, unseen but always there, carrying you forward without you needing to move. Your breath rises and falls. Your heart beats softly. The world outside may continue its hurried rhythm, but here, in this calm space, you can feel a deeper current beneath it all, a current of time. It is a feeling as old as the stars, this steady unfolding of moments. A gentle drift that carries every living thing, from the tiniest seed to the tallest mountain, from the pulse of a hummingbird's wings to the slow turning of the earth. And yet, though it feels so steady, so familiar, time is more mysterious than it seems. You picture yourself by the side of a wide, quiet river. The water moves gently, rippling under the light of the moon. You cannot stop it. You cannot hurry it. It flows, smooth and endless. This is how time feels most days, something constant, unchanging, always carrying you gently forward. But rivers can change, so can time. Somewhere deep within the universe, time can stretch and bend. It can slow. It can quicken. It is not always the steady flow you feel now. You may have felt this yourself. How time seems to race on joyful days and slow to a crawl in moments of waiting. How a single moment can feel endless, or an entire afternoon can vanish in a blink. These are hints, small ripples of time's secret softness. Even the ticking of a clock is not truly steady in every place, in every condition. Time, you will discover, is not fixed. It is woven into the very fabric of the universe, and like fabric, it can stretch. This idea may sound like a dream, but it is the quiet truth told by science. It is a truth discovered not in distant myths, but in the precise dance of planets and the gentle flicker of starlight. You close your eyes and imagine, far away, where gravity is strong or motion is swift, time itself moves differently. A clock high on a mountain ticks faster than one deep in a valley. A traveler moving at great speed would find their minutes stretched, each second unfolding more slowly compared to someone standing still. These differences are small in daily life, but they are real, measurable, known, and they hint at something even stranger. Time is not a backdrop. It is not the unmoving canvas on which life is painted. It is part of the painting itself, woven into the motion of every planet, every particle, every breath you take. In this quiet moment, as you rest, you feel the gentle drift of time within you, the rise and fall of breath, the steady pulse of your heart. These rhythms, too, are clocks' natural, living markers of time's passage. Your body knows time in ways deeper than thought. The slow aging of your cells, the way your skin feels the warmth of morning, the heaviness of night drawing near. Time weaves through you, just as it weaves through the stars. And just as time flows through you, you are also carried by the motion of the world. Even now, as you lie still, the earth turns. It spins on its axis, circling the sun, which itself glides through the galaxy. You are always moving, even in stillness. Time holds all these motions together, cradling them gently. You may begin to wonder if time can stretch and change, if it is part of this living universe, then what is it, truly? Is time something real, like air or stone? Or is it something our minds create a way to make sense of change, of before and after, of cause and effect? This question is ancient. Philosophers have asked it, scientists have measured it, and still time slips through our fingers like water. For now, you do not need to answer. For now, you only need to drift, to feel the softness of time's flow around you. Somewhere beyond, in the heart of distant galaxies, time moves in strange ways. In the presence of immense gravity, near the dark silence of black holes, time can almost stop. There, the river does not flow the way it does here. There, seconds can stretch into centuries. But here, in this quiet place, time moves gently. Your breath rises. Your breath falls. The moment carries you forward, effortlessly, softly, and as you drift, you begin to sense the first quiet stirrings of a deeper question. If time can change, what happens when you yourself move through time differently? What happens to your own inner clocks when you race through space, when speed itself begins to shape the flow of time? The thought is gentle, like the first breeze of morning, and with this soft wondering, you let yourself drift onward toward the next chapter, where the quiet clock inside your heart begins to reveal its hidden secrets. The stillness of night holds you gently. Around you, the world softens, quiets, fades. And within you, steady as a whispered breath, something continues. The quiet clock of your heart. Thump, thump, thump. You may not notice it in the rush of daytime, but here, in the hush between waking and sleep, you can hear it not with your ears, but with the soft awareness that lives beneath thought. Your heart, tireless, patient, marks each passing moment without haste. It is the first rhythm you ever knew. This heart is your oldest companion. It has been with you before you had memories, before you even opened your eyes to the world. Its rhythm guided your earliest moments and has never left your side. Each gentle beat is a quiet metronome, a private clock that counts the unfolding of your life. In the softness of this evening, you let your attention drift inward. You feel the rise and fall of your breath, the delicate pulse behind your ribs. This rhythm is the signature of life, but it is also a measure of time. Each heartbeat marks a tiny step forward, a moment carried into the next. Time, you realize, is not always something outside of you. It lives within you, too, in the quiet rise and fall, and the small dance of cells, in the language of the body itself. And just like the flow of rivers or the movement of clouds, this inner clock can shift. You have heard the saying, time flies when you're having fun. Or perhaps you've noticed how a difficult moment seems to stretch endlessly, while joyous moments vanish in a blink. These feelings, these shifts, are echoes of something deeper. Time, even within your own body, is not fixed. It can stretch and bend in ways you might not expect. Somewhere far above, astronauts orbit the Earth, traveling at incredible speeds. Their hearts beat softly in the stillness of space. And though they cannot feel it, time flows differently for them. Each moment, each heartbeat is ever so slightly slower compared to the hearts resting on Earth. This is not science fiction. It is real, measured, known. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Your heart's quiet rhythm slows too, even if only by the tiniest breath. It is called time dilation, a gentle bending of time itself. Imagine two clocks, one resting on Earth, the other traveling on a fast-moving spaceship. The hands of each clock turn, but not in perfect unison. The moving clock lags behind, its seconds stretching softly, imperceptibly. And if you were aboard that ship, your own heart, your own living clock would be part of this stretch. Your time would unfold differently. This is the poetry of physics, the dream of Einstein made real. Time is not a single river that flows the same for all. It is a vast ocean with currents that shift depending on speed, gravity, and motion. You breathe in slowly. You breathe out, and you sense, perhaps for the first time, how delicately you are held in this flow. Even as you lie still, the earth spins beneath you, carrying you through space. Even without motion of your own, you are part of great celestial journeys, turning, orbiting, gliding through the galaxy. And all the while, your heart ticks on. You may wonder, if time can stretch when you move faster, could you one day move so fast that time nearly stops? Could your heartbeat slow to almost nothing while the universe around you rushes ahead? Science whispers yes. If you could move close to the speed of light, time would slow for you dramatically. Minutes for you might be years for those left behind. Your heart would still beat, your breath still rise and fall, but the rhythm of your life would drift apart from the rhythm of the world. It is a strange and beautiful thought, but you don't have to race through the cosmos to feel time's softness. Even here, even now, you know how time can stretch and shrink? When you fall into a daydream, an hour can dissolve in what feels like moments. When you wait anxiously, seconds can feel endless. Your mind, your heart, your breath, they all shape how you feel time. And perhaps you begin to realize time is as much within you as it is around you. You let this idea drift through you. The steady pulse in your chest continues, unwavering. Each heartbeat is a note in the quiet music of your life. Out in the deep universe, there are places where time slows even more. Near massive stars, near black holes, where gravity pulls so strongly that time itself stretches thin. The closer you come to such places, the stranger time becomes. Minutes can become centuries. The beat of your heart could, in theory, slow until each thump is separated by vast stretches of cosmic time. And yet, here, in this quiet room, time moves gently, steadily. You are safe in its flow. There's no rush. No need to grasp at answers. Your heart ticks softly. Your breath rises and falls. The journey through time is not something you control, but something you are part of. Every moment, every heartbeat, every breath is a step through this unfolding mystery. And somewhere deep within, another question begins to take shape. What happens to time when you are not just moving fast, but when you're standing near something so massive, so powerful that time itself bends beyond all recognition? The thought lingers softly, like the fading glow of a distant star. And with that gentle wondering, you drift onward toward the next chapter, where gravity's quiet hand begins to shape the very flow of time itself. Close your eyes. Imagine standing at the edge of a still silver lake. The air is quiet. The surface of the water, smooth as glass. The world is calm, untouched by motion. Then imagine taking a single step forward into movement. The moment you move, even the slightest motion ripples the water. The stillness gives way to waves. Gentle circles spread outward, soft and slow. But as you move faster, walking, running, gliding, the ripples multiply, the water blurs, the air hums. So it is with time. In the stillness of your everyday life, time feels steady. Minutes tick by in familiar rhythm. Seconds fall like quiet drops of rain. But when you move, truly move, at great speed, the flow of time itself begins to shift. This is not imagination. It is one of the most beautiful, strange truths of the universe. Motion bends time. Picture yourself on a journey. At first, you move gently. Perhaps you walk along a winding path. Time hums quietly around you. Your heartbeat, your breath, your thoughts all moving at their usual pace. But now imagine stepping into something faster, a train, a plane, a rocket. As your speed increases, something subtle stirs beneath the surface. Time begins to stretch, not enough for you to notice with your senses, but enough for the universe to feel. The faster you move, the more time loosens its grip. And if you could keep going faster and faster, you would find that time itself slows down for you. Your seconds lengthen. Your heartbeats stretch farther apart. You would still feel normal inside your own mind and body, but compared to someone who's stayed behind, you would be living time differently. This is the quiet magic of special relativity, the way motion and time are intertwined. Imagine soaring on a spacecraft, far beyond the speeds of any earthly plane, out here in the deep silence of space. As your speed climbs closer to the ultimate limit, the speed of light time flows for you in a soft way. While you drift for what feels like days or months, far away on Earth, years might pass. This idea is not science fiction. It has been measured, tested, known. Astronauts in orbit experience time differently than you do right now, though by tiny amounts. Their clocks tick just a fraction more slowly because of their swift motion through space. The faster you go, the more this stretching grows, until at last, at the speed of light itself, a speed no person can reach, time would stop entirely. a strange and beautiful stillness. You rest here in your mind, imagining this softened time. The feeling of motion not just through space, but through the very fabric of hours and minutes. You are weightless, drifting. The stars wheel around you. The minutes in your heart lengthen. The hours grow soft. Time is not a rigid thread. It is silk. It bends and sways with motion. You picture two twins. One stays home. The other sets off on a journey through space, traveling near the speed of light. When they reunite, the traveling twin, as younger time has passed more slowly for them. This is the famous twin paradox. Not a paradox at all, but a reflection of how motion shapes time. You feel the gentle wonder of this idea, that time is not one thing for all people, all places. It is woven into movement, into speed, into gravity. It is alive in its own quiet way. And so you wonder, what does it mean for you living your everyday life? Even though you are not racing through galaxies, motion shapes your time too. Every movement, every breath is a tiny dance with the fabric of time. Though the differences are too small to notice, they are there quiet, real. Time is not a strict ruler. It is a field of soft currents, flowing differently for every traveler. You picture the world, planes gliding through the sky, satellites orbiting far above, people moving on foot, on bicycles and cars. Each motion weaves through time's soft fabric, creating countless gentle variations in how seconds pass. It is humbling. It is beautiful. You let this thought settle into you like warm sunlight. The idea that time itself is soft, that motion can bend it, stretch it, shape it. And with this thought, your mind drifts further still. If motion can shape time, what else can? If speed stretches seconds, what happens when gravity itself enters the story? You begin to sense at the very edges of your awareness the pull of something deeper. The way massive objects, planets, stars, black holes can slow time through sheer presence, through the weight of their gravity. Time does not flow the same near the Earth as it does high above it. It does not flow the same near a black hole as it does far from one. Motion and gravity both shape the hours, the days, the moments. And so, gently, you prepare to drift into the next chapter where the weight of gravity bends not only space, but time itself. For now, you float, you breathe, and you carry with you the soft awareness that time is not fixed. It is silk, it is breath. It is motion and memory, all woven together, gently, forever in motion. You rest in the gentle stillness of your thoughts. The air around you is soft, the world quiet. And somewhere in this hush, you sense the whisper of an idea, a quiet revelation that once changed everything. Imagine yourself in the early morning light of a small room, where a young mind dreams beyond the walls of the ordinary. This is Albert Einstein, not yet the icon, not yet the genius the world would know. Just a quiet man, sitting alone, letting his thoughts drift far beyond the everyday. And what he glimpsed, what he slowly came to understand, would reshape the way we see time itself. You sit beside him now, in your imagination, in the stillness of that moment. There's no rush, no noise, just quiet curiosity. And slowly, gently, you follow the thread of his thought. He asked, what if time and space are not separate? What if they are part of the same gentle fabric, woven together in ways we cannot see? This idea, so soft yet so profound, gave birth to what we now call relativity. You picture the fabric of space and time as a vast, endless cloth. Every star, every planet, every person, we are threads within this fabric. When something moves, when something carries weight or energy, the fabric ripples and bends. You close your eyes and see those ripples, slow, gentle, endless. Imagine traveling through this fabric. At first, your steps are slow. The ripples are barely there. But as you move faster, racing through space, the very shape of time begins to shift beneath your feet. Time, you realize, is not an unchanging metronome ticking in the dark. It is alive. It flows differently depending on how you move, where you are, how you journey through this woven universe. Einstein's quiet revelation was this: the faster you travel through space, the slower you move through time. You breathe this idea in. The faster you move through space, the slower time moves for you. It is like walking across a meadow where the air thickens with every step, softening your pace without you even noticing. At gentle speeds, this change is too small to feel. But when you reach speeds unimaginable in everyday life, when you approach the speed of light, the softening becomes profound. Time itself stretches, hours become different, moments lengthen. You picture a beam of light, a traveler with no mass, racing at the ultimate speed. For light, time does not flow at all. There is no before or after, no waiting, just pure motion across the fabric of the cosmos. This is not fantasy. It is the quiet, measured truth of nature. Even now, as you lie still, your mind drifts across this idea. You feel its softness, its gentleness, the way it opens your awareness to the hidden fluidity of time. You remember the twin paradox, the thought of one twin traveling fast through space while the other stays behind. When they reunite, the traveling twin is younger. Time is bent differently for each of them. It is not magic, it is motion. It is space and time woven into one seamless dance. Einstein saw this not with giant machines, not with explosions or spectacle, but with imagination, with calm, steady thought, with questions that unfolded slowly, like petals opening in sunlight. You breathe deeper. You are moving too, you realize. Even as you lie still, you are traveling through time, through the fabric. Your heart beats in rhythm with the soft flow of seconds. The earth spins. The planet orbits the sun itself drifts through the galaxy. And through it all, time is never quite the same from one place to another. Slight variations, subtle shifts, but always in motion. Time is not one fixed river. It is countless streams flowing gently through the vastness. You imagine floating above the earth, watching the planet turn. Imagine tracing the invisible paths of satellites above you, each one moving fast enough that their clocks tick a little differently from yours. Time stretches for them just enough that we must account for it when guiding signals through space. The very devices we use, the maps on our phones, the satellites above, are tiny echoes of Einstein's vision. His quiet revelation shapes the technology you carry, the navigation you trust. The practical and the poetic, all woven together. You smile softly, sensing the beauty of this idea. Einstein's gift was to notice the unnoticed, to see that the familiar might not be fixed. To imagine that time itself could bend, that space could curve, that the universe could be stranger and more wondrous than we had ever believed. And you, here, in this still moment, you are part of that same woven fabric. You're a traveler too. Your seconds flow gently onward, each one shaped by motion, by gravity, by the soft curves of space and time. And as you rest, you wonder, if time and space are one fabric, what happens when something vast, something heavy, something immense presses down upon it? What happens when gravity itself reshapes not only space, but the ticking of time? Your mind drifts towards the pull of gravity, towards the deep wells carved by stars and planets, towards the mysteries of black holes, the places where space and time twist beyond recognition. But not yet, not just yet. For now, you float, you breathe. You carry the quiet brilliance of Einstein's thought like a soft ember inside you. And gently, you begin to drift toward the next chapter where gravity weaves its own strange and beautiful distortions into the fabric of time. You drift now through the quiet, following the soft gleam of light. It moves effortlessly ahead of you, steady, unchanging. A beam of pure brilliance gliding across the endless fabric of space. There is no strain in its motion, no hesitation. Light always moves at the same unwavering pace. And so you follow, curious, weightless, unhurried. Everything you've known seems to shift as you float beside this gentle traveler. You begin to feel what Einstein once imagined, that the speed of light is the universe's quiet constant, a measure that never bends, never falters, no matter who watches, no matter how fast you chase. The thought soothes you, a soft anchor in a world where everything else, shapes, colors, time itself, can stretch and warp. Imagine you could ride this light. Imagine you could travel alongside it, gliding through the dark sea of space. You begin to feel the strangeness of this journey. The faster you move, the more the moments around you begin to stretch. Time, that gentle river you floated in before, slows down for you. Each heartbeat takes a little longer. Each breath is drawn a little deeper, not because you will it, but because time itself is making room, giving way to light's unwavering speed. The faster you glide, the slower your clock ticks. You can almost see it now. Two people standing far apart, each watching the same beam of light. One moves, one stands still. Yet both agree light moves exactly the same, untouched by their motion. To make this possible, the universe bends its own rules. Time slows for the one who moves. Space itself stretches. You let this thought settle. There is something deeply peaceful about it, a kind of cosmic kindness. Light is protected always. Your mind floats through stories of those who first glimpsed this truth, how they puzzled over the strange results, how they found that only by letting go of the old idea of absolute time could the world make sense again. You drift through the stillness, watching as the scenery around you blurs. The faster you imagine yourself moving, the stranger the world becomes. Distances shrink, clocks lose their rhythm. Yet through it all, light remains the same. This is not just imagination. It is real, tested, measured, woven into the GPS satellites that circle high above the earth. Without correcting for time's gentle slowness at speed, those signals would drift, and the maps we hold in our hands would falter. It is as if the universe whispers, nothing can outrun light, but as you try, time itself will soften for you. You feel the paradox at the heart of it. The faster you go, the less you age. Time stretches its limbs gently, without resistance. A traveler at near light speed might journey across the stars while barely a heartbeat passes for them, while centuries unfold elsewhere. You rest in this idea. There is no rush. No need to move fast. Here, even in stillness, you are touched by the steady, constant flow of light. You imagine photons, tiny packets of light born in the heart of distant stars, traveling for millions of years, only to touch the surface of your skin one quiet afternoon. They never tire. They never fade. They travel at this perfect, constant speed until their journeys end. Each ray of light carries with it a history, a story written across the great canvas of space. And you are part of this story too. Your own eyes drink in light every moment, streams of photons painting color, shape, and meaning across your mind. Without light, there is no sight. Without light, the world remains hidden. You are made to move with it, to feel its gentle footsteps even when you stand still. And so you float, still following that beam, watching as it stitches space and time together in ways that defy ordinary thought. You imagine stars blinking far away, galaxies turning, all of them obeying this quiet law. Light moves at the same speed for all. Time is not fixed. It breathes and bends to make this true. You let the thought deepen. You feel yourself loosening from the idea of time as rigid. It is not a drumbeat outside of you. It is something that can change, something that flexes softly to keep the universe in harmony. Perhaps this is why so many ancient stories spoke of light as something sacred, a symbol of constancy, a path through the unknown. You feel warmth in the thought, the comfort of something steady in a universe of change. As you drift, your mind touches another question. If moving faster can slow time, is there a place, a boundary, where time might stop altogether? where speed and gravity weave together into something stranger still. The thought stirs gently at the edges of your imagination. For now, you rest in the soft glow. The steady rhythm of light continues, but ahead lies the next mystery, the strange, dark places where time, gravity, and light meet in silence. You let yourself drift, a thought half formed, waiting to be explored. Close your eyes now and picture two gentle souls, two twins, alike in every way. In this quiet imagining, one twin stays behind, feet rooted softly on earth. The other steps aboard a shimmering vessel, bound for distant stars. With no rush, no noise, the traveler lifts away from home, carried by invisible hands through the wide darkness. You follow them both, your thoughts gentle as air. The twin who stays watches the sky. The one who leaves moves faster and faster, gliding beyond clouds, beyond planets, beyond memory. And as their distance grows, something curious and quiet begins to happen. Time, that familiar river, flows differently for each. The twin on Earth feels the steady rhythm of days, sunrises, seasons, the soft passing of years. The traveler, though, feels time stretch thin, each moment wider, slower, quieter. For the one who sails near the speed of light, the minutes seem to linger. Heartbeats take longer. The body barely changes. This is the heart of what scientists call the twin paradox, a tender, real consequence of the strange dance between speed and time. The faster you move, the slower you age. Not as an illusion, but as a quiet truth written into the fabric of the cosmos. You let this idea wash over you, gentle and strange. Imagine the traveler's journey. Stars drift past like scattered petals. Planets whirl in distant silence. Through the long night of space, the traveler moves calm, serene. Time inside the ship slows almost imperceptibly. The traveler barely feels it, but the clocks whisper otherwise. Back on Earth, the twin grows older. Seasons pile like soft blankets. Springs bloom, winters fall, decades pass. To the one left behind, life continues its steady rhythm. But for the traveler, only a handful of moments pass. You imagine now the soft return. The ship gliding back through dark oceans of space, slowing, landing. The traveler steps out, unchanged, almost untouched. The twin who stayed is older now, lines in the face, silver in the hair. One twin has lived years. The other has barely begun. The universe allows this. It is not a trick or a dream. It is the way time flexes and bends when movement nears the speed of light. Einstein's quiet revelation made this clear. Time is not absolute. It flows differently for different paths. You drift deeper, imagining the meeting of the two twins. Eyes searching, hands touching, laughter soft but heavy with wonder. They are still the same, still bound by shared childhoods and whispered memories. And yet, they have grown apart in time. There is something tender here, something that brushes against the edges of your heart. Time is not a wall. It is a ribbon. It can be stretched, folded, slowed. And in the softness, you find a kind of peace. You feel yourself gently breathing, your own heart tracing the steady rhythm of time's flow. Here on Earth, you move at the pace of trees growing, rivers running, clouds drifting. But somewhere, out beyond the planets, time could pass differently. The story of a single life could unfold in countless ways. You wonder what it would feel like to be that traveler. To sail so swiftly that years become minutes. To see the world change in the blink of an eye. To come home to a place that has aged without you. Would the traveler feel sadness? Would they feel awe? Perhaps both. Perhaps neither. You drift in the stillness of the thought. The universe holds space for both the twin who stays and the twin who goes. Neither is wrong. Both are real. Both live their own version of time. You float with this idea, calm and curious. The twin paradox is not just theory. It has been glimpsed, tested in quiet experiments with tiny particles and fast-moving satellites. The clocks in orbit tick differently from the clocks on Earth. The difference is small, but it is their gentle proof that time itself bends to motion. You imagine tiny clocks circling the planet, their steady hands moving just a fraction slower than those on the ground. It is as though the universe is always in quiet conversation with itself, measuring, balancing, adjusting. And so you rest in the thought, time is alive, time breathes. You picture yourself as both twins at once, the one who travels, the one who stays. Both exist within you. There are moments when you race ahead, when your mind sprints across possibilities. And there are moments when you are still rooted, resting in the present. Both are needed. Both are beautiful. The journey through the twin paradox is not about leaving everything behind. It is about seeing the world through new eyes. It is about realizing that time, so often taken for granted, is a landscape that can shift beneath your feet. You breathe in, you breathe out. You imagine the twin who stayed, now older, gazing up at the stars. You imagine the traveler stepping down, feeling the gravity of home once more. Their eyes meet. No words need to be spoken. In that moment, they understand. Time has carried them differently, but love, memory, and connection remain. The stars still shine, the earth still turns, and somewhere light still moves at its steady pace, the quiet heartbeat of the universe. You let the image fade softly. You are still drifting, carried gently by thought. The twin story lingers, not as an ending, but as a doorway to something more. For if time can bend and stretch, what else might change? What deeper mysteries lie in the folds of space and the warping of time near gravity's pull? You feel the question form, unhurried, weightless. Close your eyes. Let the darkness behind your eyelids stretch wide, like the night sky itself. Imagine above you endless stars. They shine with ancient light that began its journey long before you were born, still traveling, still arriving. Out there, time is not as it seems. You float gently now, as if lifted by soft winds, far beyond Earth, into the wide quiet of space. The stars shimmer like distant fires, and though they look still, everything is moving. Galaxies spin, planets turn. Light travels at its steady pace, weaving through the fabric of the cosmos, and time flows differently in every corner. High above, in the vastness between stars, time stretches thin. Around massive objects like swollen stars, black holes, and distant galaxies, time bends and warps. The closer you drift toward great gravity, the slower the clock inside your mind would tick. You picture this gently. A clock near a massive planet runs slower than one far away. A heartbeat close to a black hole lasts longer than one in open space. Not because the clock is broken, not because the heart is weak, but because time itself has softened, stretched, surrendered to gravity's pull. And here on Earth, you are not separate from this dance. Your every breath, your every step unfolds within this shifting, bending web of time. You imagine your own heart as a quiet metronome. With each beat, you mark a moment, your own rhythm in the great cosmic symphony. Even the atoms within you feel time's gentle tug. Deep inside, particles follow time's flow, some faster, some slower, depending on their journeys. Their energies, their tiny, quiet dances. You are not apart from the universe. You are stitched into its very fabric. Think of the satellites circling overhead small metal birds in the sky. Their clocks ticking just slightly differently from the clocks resting in your pocket. This difference is not imaginary, it is real. Without it, the GPS guiding travelers, sailors, wanderers would fail. The satellites' clocks run faster because they sit higher in Earth's gentle gravity. Engineers adjust for this, building time's softness into the machinery that helps you find your way. Even here, even now, time reveals its hidden curves. You drift deeper, the stars above you like soft candle flames. In this quiet, you feel the wideness of time. You imagine a place near the rim of a black hole, where time would slow to a crawl. A single moment there could stretch into days, years, even centuries far from its grip. The closer you move toward that dark center, the more time falters, softens, slows. And yet, to the traveler near that gravity, nothing feels strange. Their heart still beats, their thoughts still flow. Time within remains steady only when compared to the outside does the difference bloom. You breathe gently. Even here on Earth, though we live far from black holes, time is not perfectly even. High on mountaintops, time runs a breath faster than in the valleys. For you, this difference is too small to feel, too soft to notice. But it is there, as real as wind, as real as the stars. You smile softly at this. The idea that time so often thought of as strict, unchanging, is instead supple. It can stretch, twist, lean, and in this softness you find comfort. Your own life unfolds within time's gentle curves. Every memory, every dream, every footstep is part of the flow. Though you cannot hold time in your hands, you can feel it moving. In the warmth of sunlight, in the hush of midnight, in the rise and fall of your breath, you picture the stars once more. Some of them are so far away that their light began traveling long before Earth took its current shape. To look into the night sky is to look into the past. Every star is a story, every glimmer a message from another time. Even the Milky Way, your home galaxy, spins slowly, its vast arms sweeping through millions of years. In the time it takes for the galaxy to make one full turn, mountains rise and fall, oceans shift, species come and go. And yet, in the gentle blink of your lifetime, you're a part of this grand rotation. You drift deeper into this thought. You, small and soft, are not separate from these celestial rhythms. The atoms in your bones were forged in the heart of stars. The iron in your blood once burned bright in distant furnaces of ancient suns. Time shaped you. Time moves through you. Even your cells obey time's flow. Your body renews itself, old cells quietly replaced by new over days and years. There is a rhythm to this, too slower than thought, faster than stone, yet guided by the same clockwork that turns galaxies. And so you float between scales, between the stars and the self, between cosmic time and human time. Neither is more real. Both are true. You breathe again, feeling the air fill your lungs, the soft rhythm of now. You think of faraway pulsar stars that spin and pulse like cosmic lighthouses. They keep time too in their own way, blinking with astonishing precision across the emptiness. Perhaps the universe itself is made of countless clocks, all ticking, all moving, each in its own rhythm, some fast, some slow, some vast, some small, but all part of the same quiet music. You let this thought settle around you. Time is not something to race against, it is something to move within. And though stars burn, and galaxies turn, and black holes fold time into stillness, you, here now, are a traveler in this moment. No journey is too small. The stars above you watch in silence, keeping their slow, steady beat. The earth turns gently beneath you. Your heart finds its quiet pace. And somewhere beyond sight, beyond sound, other clocks are ticking too, whispering the secrets of motion, of gravity, of time's endless grace. You breathe. You drift. You rest in the quiet rhythm. But even as you linger here, a question stirs softly on the horizon. If time can shift and bend, what of space itself? What mysteries hide in the shape of the cosmos, in the warping of worlds? Close your eyes again, gently. Feel your body resting, held softly by the earth beneath you. There is no rush, no weight you need to carry. The pull you feel, the gentle tug that keeps you grounded, is gravity, and it is everywhere. Invisible, patient, constant. Gravity is the quiet artist shaping every moment you live. In this stillness, you drift in thought, imagining how gravity is not just a force pulling you down, but something far more subtle. It curves the space around you. It bends time itself. In this gentle truth, the world becomes both stranger and more beautiful. Far above, the planets move not because they are pushed, but because they fall continuously along the curved paths carved by gravity. The moon, the earth, the stars, they all follow the shapes written by mass and motion. You float in this idea, soft and slow. Imagine a sheet stretched tight, smooth, and silent. If you place something heavy on that sheet, a stone, a star, a planet, the fabric dips and curves around it. Smaller objects nearby will roll along those curves, not because they are pulled by strings, but because the very ground beneath them has shifted. This is how gravity works. The sun bends the space around it, and the planets follow those curves. Black holes curve space so deeply that not even light can escape. And here on Earth, even your own body, small though it may seem, adds its own gentle curve to the web of reality. You are part of the story of gravity, always. And gravity does more than bend space. It bends time too. The deeper you are inside a gravitational well, the slower time moves for you. You are carried in this flow without even noticing. Your feet, closer to the Earth's center, experience time just the tiniest breath more slowly than your head. It's an impossibly small difference, yet it is real as your heartbeat. You breathe slowly. You imagine standing at the edge of a massive world, a place where gravity is so strong, so deep, that time slows to a crawl. The hands of a clock would hesitate. The beats of a heart would stretch into eternity. This is not science fiction. It is the way the universe works. Gravity and time are not separate. They are threads of the same cloth. The heavier an object, the more it bends the fabric of space-time. The faster it moves, the more time itself shifts. You float gently in this awareness, letting the quiet symmetry of it unfold in your mind. The weight of planets, the spin of stars, the silent dance of galaxies, all held in place by gravity's unseen hand. And here on Earth, gravity holds you too. Not with chains, not with force, but with quiet insistence. It gives weight to your bones. It gives rhythm to your steps. Without it, you would drift, untethered. You imagine a moment without gravity, oceans rising into the sky, trees lifting from the soil, breath drifting away into the blue. The Earth itself would lose its shape, its story, its stillness. Gravity is the reason stars gather. It is the reason planets are born. It is the reason galaxies spiral like vast cosmic seashells you breathe again. Think of the tides, how the moon, with its quiet pull, lifts oceans into slow, rhythmic motion. The rise and fall of waves is gravity made visible. Even distant Jupiter pulls faintly on you, its weight felt across the cold emptiness of space. Everything pulls on everything. You are woven into this web, held gently by the gravity of every star, every stone, every breath of dust. And gravity, in turn, shapes the passage of time itself. You remember the satellites above, their clocks ticking differently because they orbit higher, where gravity's pull is weaker. And you think of astronauts aging just a breath faster or slower, depending on their journeys through gravity's curve. Time bends, and so do you. Your life is not separate from these grand forces. The wear of time in your body, the way light travels, the arc of a falling leaf, each is touched by gravity's hand. You let this knowledge settle in you. There is no need to rush. The universe moves in soft, deliberate patterns. You are part of those patterns. You imagine distant black holes, again places where gravity grows so strong that time almost stops. A falling traveler would never feel the slowing. To them, time remains smooth. But to an outside observer, their motion stretches, slows, softens into stillness. No edge, no border, just the quiet warping of moments. You rest in this thought. Even now, as you lie still, gravity is holding you to this earth, keeping you gently grounded. The stars above, the planets and their courses, the deep rhythm of time, all woven together. And though you cannot see the curves of space, you feel their presence in every step you take, every breath you draw. Gravity is not just a pull, it is the shape of reality itself. And so you drift now, softly, through this idea, carrying its weight with you, but lightly, gently, as if on a quiet breeze. But somewhere in the distance, another question glimmers: if gravity can bend space and slow time, what happens when we try to look beyond? What lies at the edge of what we know? In this moment, you drift weightless, quiet, unhurried. All around you stretches the deep black of space, soft and endless. But ahead, there is something different. A shadow within the shadows. A quiet so profound it seems to draw the fabric of the universe inward. You are nearing a black hole. There is no rush. The darkness does not pull at you. Instead, you float slowly, drawn only by gentle curiosity, by the wish to understand. This is not a place of fear. It is a place of profound stillness where even time itself behaves in ways that few can imagine. You hover at the edge, the event horizon. The invisible boundary where the rules you've always known begin to change. Here, something extraordinary happens. If you could look back, you would see the universe glowing, distant, and serene. Stars, galaxies, the soft light of distant suns, all of it continuing as before. But as you turn your attention toward the black hole, you feel something shift deep within your perception. Time slows. It slows not in the way that an afternoon drifts lazily by, or the way a peaceful evening seems to linger. It slows in a way that is almost impossible to grasp. A second here could stretch into minutes, hours, lifetimes, depending on how close you drift. Imagine a clock. Far from the black hole, its hands tick steadily forward. But as you move closer, those hands begin to falter. They crawl, they freeze. And then at the edge, they stop altogether. Time, it seems, can pause. But the pause is not for you. If you were the one falling in, you would not feel time stop. To you, time would flow just as it always has. A breath would take a breath's length. A heartbeat would beat in rhythm. The change is seen only by those far away, and so you float. You wonder, how can something be so heavy, so dense, that not even light can escape its pull? The black hole's mass is packed into an impossibly tiny point, a singularity. The very word sounds soft on the tongue, but the idea behind it is anything but gentle. It is gravity made infinite. A place where the known laws of physics bend and stretch and dissolve. But tonight, you don't need to solve equations or recite theories. Tonight, you simply feel the vastness of it, the stillness, the deep, infinite calm. You notice that even the concept of space is different here. The very fabric of the universe curves inward, like a soft sheet pulled down by a hidden weight. You can almost feel it beneath you, the gentle tug, the smooth curve, and here you are safe, because you are only an observer, a dreamer at the edge of something vast. In this place, time and space themselves are woven together so tightly that they cannot be separated. They swirl and fold, each affecting the other. You think back to earlier moments in your journey moments, when you first learned that time could flow at different speeds. This is the ultimate expression of that idea. Time here slows because the gravity is so intense. The closer you drift, the more time stretches. If you could somehow hover forever at this edge, the rest of the universe would speed away without you. Worlds would form and die, stars would flare and fade, while for you, only a breath would pass. This thought does not frighten you. Instead, it soothes. It reminds you that time is not fixed, that your moments are not set in stone, that the universe, in its quiet way, is far stranger and far softer than it may sometimes seem. You let yourself drift a little closer. Here, the black hole is not a monster. It is not a devourer. It is a teacher. It shows you that even the deepest darkness can hold lessons, that even in the places where light cannot return, there is beauty. The black hole hums with an ancient calm, and around its edges, strange things happen. Particles flicker into existence and vanish again. Hawking radiation, they call it, a whisper of energy escaping from the edges. Even here in this quiet, there is movement. There is life of a kind. You wonder, if nothing can escape, how can even these tiny whispers be? The answer lies in the quantum world, the world of uncertainty and chance, a world where particles can blink in and out of being, and so even black holes are not forever. Slowly, slowly they evaporate. Given time immense time, they too will fade. You let that idea settle around you like a soft blanket. Even the heaviest things are impermanent. Even the darkest places can shine in their own way. Time moves differently here. But it moves. The universe is always becoming, always changing. And so are you. You breathe in, you breathe out. And somewhere far away a star dies, its core collapses. In its place, a new black hole is born. Another gentle guardian of time's mysteries. The cycle continues, and you drift. Your thoughts move softly now. You feel the quiet weight of the cosmos, the way time bends like soft silk, the way gravity can shape not just space, but moments themselves. And as you linger in this stillness, another question stirs, soft as the dark. What lies beyond this horizon? Beyond this deep quiet? But that, you feel, is a journey for another time. You lie quietly, breath slow and easy, as the traces of your journey through time settle softly around you. The world is hushed as if the air itself listens. Beneath closed eyes, you still sense the gentle sway of distant stars, the stretched pathways of light, the invisible rivers of time that wind through all things. You are here, and yet you are everywhere you have been. In your mind, you still drift along the rivers of space-time, still carry the strange softness of the black hole's edge, where time slowed to almost nothing. You have seen how motion bends moments, how gravity curves not only the path of planets, but the very unfolding of time itself. You carry the echoes of those discoveries like a feather held close to the heart. In this moment, you begin to see that you, too, are not separate from this flow. You are not apart from time's fabric, you are woven into it. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, is a ripple across the ocean of time. The cells of your body follow ancient clocks, the rise and fall of rhythms too quiet to hear, but always, always there. Your body tells time in 1,000 different ways. The slow drift of hair growing, the healing of skin, the circling of thoughts, the ticking of molecules, the gentle pulse of electrons. Even the atoms within you, forged in stars long ago, carry the memory of ages past. You are, in every cell, a timeless traveler. And yet time is not something you can hold. It is not something you can see. You feel it as change, as motion, as the way the morning light shifts across a wall, or the way shadows lengthen with the day. You feel it in the softness of memories, the way moments gather, fade, return. You remember now that time is not fixed. It is not a rigid line, not a metronome beating the same in every corner of the universe. Time breathes. It stretches and slows, dances and bends. The faster you move, the gentler time becomes. The deeper into gravity you fall, the slower its hands turn. Time is alive in its own quiet way. As you lie still, you become aware of the time that lives within you. Your heart ticking in the here and now slows. Your breath lengthens. Even your thoughts grow soft, spacious. You are, in this small body, a reflection of the universe's vast clockwork. The time you keep is your own, woven gently into the greater tapestry of all things. The mind drifts. You picture the vastness of galaxies, the slow spin of cosmic arms, the way time moves differently at the heart of those distant star clusters. Somewhere, perhaps, there are beings, curious minds like yours, wondering about time too. Somewhere, the same stars you see have shone on others, across distances so great, even light has barely touched them. And yet, all of it, every flicker of starlight, every breath you take happens within the same fabric, the same quiet ocean of space and time. There is no outside, there is only the flow. You imagine yourself as a traveler, not rushing, not striving, just drifting softly along time's gentle current. A traveler who watches the way morning becomes noon, how one moment melts into the next, without force, without hurry. A traveler who knows that each instant is both fleeting and infinite. Time, after all, holds both opposites. It is impossibly brief and endlessly long. It can stretch so wide a second feels like an eternity, or shrink so small that hours pass unnoticed. The heart of time is change, and in change, you find both movement and stillness. You begin to understand that there is no need to chase time, no need to fear it. It is not your enemy. It is the gentle medium in which you exist. Like the surface of a calm lake beneath a moonlit sky, time reflects your being. It holds you. It carries you. The mind slows further. Thoughts soften into images, into feelings. You remember that time is not only out there in the stars and the stretching of galaxies. Time lives within you, in your laughter, your footsteps, the warmth of your hands, the rise and fall of breath. You are both vast and small, both ancient and new. In every cell, you carry the legacy of time, the memory of the stars, the quiet echo of beginnings beyond beginnings. And so you rest. You let yourself drift through the moments. No rush. No destination. Just the steady unfolding, one soft breath after another. In the stillness, you notice time changes not only in the heavens, but here on earth. In mountains rising slow as breath. In rivers carving stone over ages. In forests growing, falling, rising again. Time leaves gentle fingerprints on everything it touches. And yet, something else stirs beneath the flow. A question, soft and quiet, drifts into your awareness. What if time, for all its movement, holds something timeless? What if beyond the passing of seconds and years, there is a stillness so deep it holds all motion within it? What if, at the heart of everything, there is a place where time itself rests? The thought lingers, soft as mist, as your breath slows, as you begin to drift deeper. For now, you let it be. You let time carry you gently, weightlessly into the next quiet mystery.